Sakura? 留守中にケイちゃんが来てたわよ。なんか友達とハワイに行ったんだって。
Evilness is everywhere and in all of us. While most of us might not look evil, we are certainly filled with evil thoughts and actions. We as humans tend to hide our evil deep side, but there are times when something or someone awakens that dark spirit in you. The question is, should we let it empower our being? In this episode, Sakura has a choice to make. Will she control this dark force and not give in? Or will she give in to the powers of the dark Hado? Without further ado, let me welcome you to the Cypunk feed. It starts in the Udon comics, Super Street Fighter Volume 2, Hyper Fighting, in the Round 1 section named Dark Sakura. The story starts in a very dark setting. Akuma is fighting with Sakura. As he throws a punch at her, Akuma says, "I have always known that, like Ryu, the dark Hado resided within you, Sakura. Now, show me if it has awakened. Show me, as I have sensed, the seed of Satsui no Hado within you has germinated." The Satsui no Hado is the surge of murderous intent and is often called the dark Hado. It is a dark energy-based force, the same force Akuma uses to garnish his powers. Akuma's only purpose in life is to find fighters strong enough to fight with him, even if he must awaken their evil being for the sake of his purpose. To think that Sakura might awaken her dark Hado is unimaginable. As they are fighting, Akuma misses his attack to Sakura. While dodging his attack, she replies, "Never, Akuma. Master Ryu taught me better than to listen to anything spouting from your mouth." Sakura tries to punch Akuma and comes short. Akuma grabs her hand and throws her into the air. While throwing Sakura into the air, Akuma says, "You have the same potential that Ryu possesses. Perhaps even more, if you could only accept the truth wholeheartedly." The manipulation from Akuma's words, as he is trying to convince Sakura that she can even be more powerful than Ryu, sounds very familiar to the Star Wars, Darth Vader and Luke scene, when Vader tries to convince Luke Skywalker to join the dark side of the Force. As Sakura lands on the floor, she understands the heavy pressure she is in, so she says to Akuma, "You don't know anything about Ryu. He is twice the fighter you will ever be." In insight, Sakura tries to manipulate the situation to her favor by telling Akuma he is inferior to Ryu, a very classic tactic to break her opponent's concentration. Akuma knows this, and as she tries to take momentum and attack, Akuma blocks her hit and says, "You have grown strong under your master's tutelage, but you must have moved beyond your blind obedience to his teachings if you wish to ascend to a higher level." As he punches Sakura in the stomach, he says, "It is time for you to step out of Ryu's shadow and embrace the power he has been too naive to acknowledge." Akuma says words he lives by. The same situation happened with him, with his former master Gotetsu. He left his former master and his brother in order to search for his ultimate power. The only goal in Akuma's mind is ultimate power by any means. Akuma keeps on beating Sakura, to the point that he starts to question himself about Sakura. As he replies, "Perhaps I was wrong, and you're not yet ready to be enlightened by the dark Hado. Perhaps you are weak, just like your master." As he finishes his statement, Sakura starts feeling high levels of anger and hate. Sakura's eyes are turning red. As she picks herself from the floor, Akuma feels her energy as she rises from the ground, and he states, "Yes, feel the killing intent welling up within you, and its darkness washing over you. Tell me, how something Ryu proclaims to be wrong could feel so very right." Again, in this moment, Akuma gives some heavy Palpatine vibes in this part of the comic. As he comments, we can see Sakura using her power pose and throws a Hadouken to Akuma, in which he intercepts and calmly says, "Perhaps there is hope for you yet." Akuma, while throwing the same Hadouken back to Sakura, says, "But you have only had a taste of the dark Hado. There is much left to learn before you will master it." He performs the Hadouken, hitting Sakura and hurting her on the way. As she is lying on the floor, she feels she has failed her master when she says, "Master Ryu, I've failed you." She feels the deep sadness, as she cannot believe she had fallen victim to the Dark Hado. Akuma's mind games debilitated Sakura physically and mentally. Akuma, while seeing Sakura defeated in the floor, he tells her, "No, it is Ryu who has failed you. You have felt the ecstasy of the Satsui no Hado, and now know that it is Ryu who has deprived you of the true growth. Is it not time for you to choose your own path?" Sakura rises from the floor and says, "No, I could never betray Master Ryu." As she stays looking around, she sees that Akuma has vanished from her sight. Sakura looks at her hand with a puzzled face. Is she looking with concern for her well-being? I think Sakura understands that that moment tapped in the potential for more power. Is she looking at her hand, maybe having second thoughts about the Dark Hado? She seems as if she had failed her master, but we need to recognize that her master, as she states, was also consumed by the Dark Hado. So, in a sense, he also failed when he gave in into the Dark Hado. In my opinion, what Akuma wants is for fighters like Sakura and Ryu to ignore everything they have been taught, and by only breaking the norm, they will achieve their higher greatness. I personally think Akuma sees the Dark Hado as a source of power that gives him amazing abilities, in which he wants other fighters to learn as well. Will we see Sakura as a potential apprentice of Akuma? Can Akuma be looking for his future substitute? Will she forsake her master? I will leave those questions for you to decide. From a video game perspective, I find it cool having a version of the Dark Sakura in future games. And if not a character, maybe she can turn into this dark version, while her V-trigger is at its full. In this video, we have talked about the influence of Akuma to Sakura, and how Sakura felt the power of the Dark Hado. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with our new theories and info. Thank you for watching. Welcome to the center stage.